Welcome to another episode of Gracias Come Again. Today, we have a very special guest. Darrin Henson is in the building. He's repping the Bronx. Actor, choreographer, author, director, motivational speaker. What else can I add to your resume, Darrin?
I don't know. It's I think that's enough. That's enough hats. I only have one head. But I wanted to say that I'm very thankful for them all. You know?
Yeah.
And it's great to be here with you. Hola, mi gente. I'm just I'm thankful, you know, that I get to wear all of those hats at different times, not at the same time.
Gracias a Dios, right?
Yeah, gracias Dios. It's you know, growing up in the Bronx, realizing that humble simply means, for me, that's the meaning that I give it, is remembering where I came from and why I came. That's what makes the difference.
Deep.
Remembering where I came from and why I came. So when I say
Who told you why you came? Who told you why you came?
Spirit,
Okay.
espiritu, right? It speaks to you.
And why are you here?
I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to bring change. I'm here to allow light to come through. You know, Latinos, they say luz.
Claro.
And so it's, for me, it's that. It's living in the light, speaking life. And, you know, growing up in the Bronx, I was, my compadre was Cubano.
Okay.
His name was Francisco Aponte.
You baptized his kid or he baptized your kid? How are you compadres?
He's my compadre because he just became that.
Okay,
there was no baptism or anything.
Okay.
He was my best friend, Thomas Aponte. He was his father. And, you know, a few blocks here from the radio station, he worked in the Hilton Hotel, and he was a tailor.
Cubano.
And everybody came to him to get their suits done and just, you know, look sharp. And so when I was a kid, I learned to speak Spanish, you know, through him, through the Apontes. And I remember I grew up on
being in their house.
Yeah, we lived next door to each other. You know, Tommy, which we call him, but his name was Thomas Aponte. His dad was Francisco, and we used to hear something every day. His mother, Josefina, may she rest in peace, may he rest in peace, will go, sube, and we used to be like, what is that? It was like, right? Time to get upstairs. And so, you know, they called me El Nano. So I was the little one, and she was like, El Nano. You know, I would come upstairs, and you know, I would eat with them, I would play with them, and it was like they
welcomed you into the house.
I was their son too, you know. So he was my godfather, I was his godson, and that's how they treated me. So, you know, I grew up with Latinos, Boricuas. You know, I didn't learn what a Dominican was until years later, and then I realized I dated a Dominican woman.
Oh, look at you.
When I was in junior high school, I was like, oh, claro que sí, when I found out.
Not your junior high school girl being Dominican, and you were unaware that you were dating one of the best women.
Shout out to Laura Lee.
Laura Lee was a kid. I'm pretty sure she grew up to be a fine Dominican.
She's
wife,
beautiful and amazing, and I remember. And then, you know, my children are half Dominican, so they're much older.
How many children you have?
They're much older. They're 30 years old. They're 27 years
adult
old.
Children.
I have adult children. So.
And they're all half Dominican?
Yeah.
Oh no, you're Dominican.
Yeah. Que lo que.
All right. Like, dime a ver, que lo que. They speak Spanish?
They do.
Oh,
absolutely.
I love this for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are you still with their mother?
No.
But she did what she had to do, and she raised them kids.
We had a great run, and you know, people change, things change, life changes, and it's all love.
You have four children?
It's all love. I have children.
Okay. You know, I had to do my research before you came.
I have 3 children with her.
Oh, okay, all right.
I have 3 with her.
And they're all adults?
They're amazing. They're adults.
They're
you know,
in New York, or they're
still here in the tri-state area.
Oh, that's why you're always here.
Yeah, and you know, it's you know, I'm very, very proud of them. They went to college on scholarships and did very well in life. One of my sons is a school teacher. And I
love it. He's giving back. I love that.
So
teachers,
it's amazing.
So much. That's one of the careers that I respect and admire the most.
Yeah, I'm blessed.
And then your girl, you have a daughter?
Yeah. She's 22,
Mm-hmm.
and she's in fashion. She went to one of the School of the Arts in college for fashion and photography, and we're just proud of them. We're thankful and we're proud of them.
How do they feel about you being their dad?
We don't talk about it.
Really?
Not at all. Because one of the things, I didn't even name my children with my last name.
Really?
No, because I didn't want them to have to suffer by other people commissioning them to walk in my footsteps. It can be very difficult. Think about Michael Jordan's son. Think about the life that he has, right? Like, some people didn't even know Michael Jordan had a son, right? But he does. So imagine your dad being, one of the greatest basketball players in the world, and then you're a basketball player. I didn't want that for my children. So we gave them very special names with intention.
I love it.
But I didn't give them my last name intentionally so they could live their own lives and blaze their own paths.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because I see what you're saying. It's just the expectation. Are you going to live up to the expectation of, let's say Al Pacino's your father? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you're expecting.
Think about all the stuff that Will Smith's children go through, right? Just being his children. I didn't want that for my children.
But then it kind of like also opens doors. Like, let's think of like Sofia Coppola.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. But I think that it's like getting your ears pierced. Some parents don't pierce their daughter's ears because they're like, we'll wait till she determines whether or not she wants it pierced. And that was very important for me, that they could become independent thinkers and they will decide their path and we will support it.
I see where you're at, and it's bringing back the whole Enrique Iglesias story and how he was just Enrique. So he became a pop star. And then she was like, and then he was like, by the way, my father is, the Iglesias. And then he started using Julio's last name. And then, but at that point, we just like, this guy's a pop star. We don't care who his dad was.
But it's very interesting because now that you mentioned Enrique Iglesias, I mean, I think by now people know that I am a world-renowned choreographer.
Yes, that we know. We're going to get into that.
Yeah, so Enrique, who I love, I choreographed Bailamos.
Mentira.
No, I choreographed Bailamos for Enrique.
Are you lying?
That's mine.
I love that song.
That's mine.
Bye.
So everybody knows Bye Bye Bye, but Bye Bye Bye, Love Don't Cost a Thing by Jennifer, Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle. I mean, so
the way he just started flexing and dropping like I was just not ready to get into the choreography.
But Bailamos is mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I still remember the video and everything.
Bailamos is mine. And it's so amazing because I remember I spent a lot of time with Enrique. And, one of the things, he didn't want to live in his father's shadow. That's what I'm talking about, And
that's what you wanted for your kids.
I want my children to be who they choose to be, not my shadow.
I respect that. Darrin Henson, I respect you, sir. Now, Taraji, I know the name probably always
That's
comes
my cousin. Yep.
Right? First cousins, like, are your mom's sisters?
That's my cousin.
What,
if you look at Taraji and you look at my dad, they have the same face.
Twins?
They have the same face. It's so amazing. I just met somebody recently that's a chef, and then he was cooking for Taraji. I was while in New York, I visited a school, and it was so amazing because he had a story about Taraji, and she loves him, he loves her, and so it's always nice when you hear great stories.
Oh, she's amazing. I've had nothing but great interactions with Taraji. She's just so dope, and she's just so real and so down to earth. It just feels like you the homie.
Yeah, and that's how she lives. She knows where she comes from and who she comes from. Does that make sense? It's like, she knows her purpose. And again, I think she's another one who believes in creating change, whether it's socially, economically, spiritually. We come to change things. Going back to my ancestor, Matthew Henson, who discovered the North Pole, right?
Are you kidding me right now?
No, very serious.
My deep dive wasn't that deep.
Yeah, it's our lineage. And it's so interesting. It's between her and me. Like, who's gonna do the story first? And I think ultimately,
And he was a black man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, things change.
Yeah, I mean, look at what I'm wearing right now. I kind of look like Matthew Henson right now. And
Matthew Henson.
Yeah,
we've got to do this story.
Yeah,
you and Taraji got to do it together.
Yeah, the man who discovered the South Pole. Yeah, that's great. I love that you just said that, honey. That we should combine forces, powers, and do it together. I love that.
Of course. That's how it's got to happen. You both come from that lineage.
I love that.
It's both your story to share. And, creatively, I'm pretty sure you guys would work in a dope way. Now, when did you decide, I want to be a creative? Because you're from the Bronx.
Yes.
You're a black man.
Born and raised.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like we're pushed, and as inner city kids, we're not pushed to be creatives by our parents, especially if you grew up, 80s, 90s, when we were at the height of just crisis here in New York, whether it be, our crack epidemic, whether it be our AIDS epidemic. We didn't have it easy when it came to inner city kids. So how did you end up being a creative and not a bus driver and not a police officer and not, working in a hospital? Like a lot of our men ended up in those areas. Who pointed you in the direction of, let's say, was choreography your first love?
I go back to spirit again. At 5 years old, I knew what I wanted to be. I had the opportunity to grow up where the Motown era was happening. Mm-hmm. You had the Commodores, the Four Tops, Gladys Knight, Diana Ross, Lionel Richie, right? Like Motown I grew up in that. Yeah, I grew up in that era. So there was music always around.
In your home?
Yes.
Okay.
And
mom or dad? Who was into the music?
My mom. My dad, and I say this, and I have to say this for all of those men who may be listening, and the women as well. People always complain about their fathers not being around. I didn't complain about him not being around. I just say he wasn't in my way so I could determine what I wanted to be. So I learned to empower myself. But my dad left when I was 5. Him and my mom had some disagreements. My dad is a very famous, world-renowned horse trainer. So he was training horses, thoroughbred race horses. And my mom was the mom that was in the house, and she did, many different odd jobs because my dad wasn't around. And I developed a relationship with my father at 27. I wound up moving to Parkchester. I'll never forget this. I moved to Parkchester in the Bronx, and I saw this guy. He was about 6'7", and much younger than me. And I was like, this guy looks just like my father, like the spitting image of my father. Everybody in my family's tall on the men's side. I'm the runt of the family. I took after my mom. Right? And so I looked at this guy and I walked up to him and I said, "Is your last name Henson?" He said, "Yeah." He was a basketball player. And in high school at the time. And I said, "Is your middle name DeWitt?" Because all the men in my family have the same middle and last name.
I saw that.
And he said, "Yeah." He thought I was a fan of his. And I said, "What's up? I'm your oldest brother, Darrin." And he said, "What?" He didn't know about me.
He didn't know you existed?
He didn't know about me. And I told him his father's name. And he said, "Yo, who are you?" I said, "I'm your oldest brother, Darrin." I didn't realize I had moved next door to my father. You see? God works in mysterious ways.
Pero ven acá.
Exactly.
Me and you're going to have to get deeper into the
God works in mysterious ways. But when I was a child, I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a performer. And at that time, the Jackson 5 was big. And then I grew up clearly, inspired by the Jackson 5. And then, of course, Michael Jackson. And that was literally on my mind my entire life, to work with Michael Jackson. Like, that was it. I said yes to that dream. I used to have reoccurring dreams as a child that they used to always allow me to come over their house. But I never stayed. They, whenever I ate, they would go, "Okay, Darrin, we'll see you later. You got to go." They always walked me to the door and said bye. But I was always at their house. I remember at least having that dream 5 times. And that's my favorite number, 5. Right? I'm born Cinco de Mayo. So
pero ven acá.
I got it easy. So I always knew what I wanted to do. And
You just knew you wanted to entertain.
Yeah, I wanted to dance. I had to dance.
Dancing was always
the expression for me. Saturday Night Fever was out. The first $5 I ever made in my life. I was 8 years old, I think, 8 or maybe 9 or 10. And I imitated John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, and I won the dance contest.
I love this. I love this.
It's true.
You were born to do this.
It's something that I've always wanted to do. And then when I got to high school, I went to DeWitt Clinton High School in the Bronx, and I joined all of the theater workshop classes. I did all of
You were focused.
Yeah, I did all of the talent shows, and then it started from there.
Wow.
It started from there. Then when I graduated, I joined the circus.
What circus?
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Darrin, you lying to me.
I promise you.
As a what?
I promise you. As a dancer.
Okay.
Because street dancing was huge at that time, right? This is 1989. And I joined a group called the Live Action Squad. A friend of mine, Frank Concepcion, was the leader of this group. And when I graduated, they were like, yo, we need another dancer. So I went on tour. So we toured the United States, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and we would pop in and lock in, and it was a group called the Live Action Squad. So we were performing in front of 16,000 people, right?
No pressure.
No pressure in the circus. And then the following year, in 1990, we moved to Japan and performed in Japan for a year. So street dancing, hip hop, true hip hop, right? Graffiti, rapping, DJing, dancing, right? And clothing, true hip hop. We utilize that to work for us, not against us. And so I was making money. I was traveling the world. I lived in Japan. I learned Japanese.
How dope is Japan?
It was amazing.
The way they love, the hip hop culture and New York culture, isn't that just so endearing? Wow.
Honey, it was amazing. We were like kings over there.
Right?
Because it was like everybody's eye is on America, no matter what anybody thinks. Everybody wants to come to America and experience the expression, the freedom that we have here. And through dance, which is pure energy, we were able to have energetic conversations and to distribute what we were feeling inside. We were, Latino and Black kids from the Bronx who went through stuff. I was put out of my house 3 times before I was 12 years old. I experienced being padlocked and put out because my mother didn't have enough money. And I remember when I was 12 years old, I said, I'm never going to let this happen to me. I'm never going to allow this. And the older I got, the more I kept reading, the more I kept maturing and knowing what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to do and why. So when somebody asked me, what was your why? My why was because I never wanted to experience lack and limitation. I never wanted somebody to be able to put me out of my house. And so I knew that I had to do something to create an experience for myself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and economically that I would never have to worry about that. So I focused.
And this is why you're also a motivational speaker, because you just motivated the hell out of me right now.
Yeah.
I love this conversation. Now, how did you end up becoming a choreographer for stars? You're in Japan right now, right?
And I come back from Japan.
Okay.
I had an amazing time over there. And then when I came back, I did a show called Club MTV.
I remember Club MTV.
Which was on MTV.
Downtown Judy Brown?
That's right. And I was one of the kind of premier dancers. There was a few dancers that were known on the show, and I was one of them. A lot of camera time, a lot of interviews, and I was known as Pop Crazy at that time because everything was about popping and locking. So when Julie used to interview me, she used to go, Pop Crazy, I love how you dance, so show us. And I am
going to research the hell out of this footage.
It's everywhere. And I remember at that time, because that's when the movie Breakin' was out. And while I was on Club MTV, they picked some dancers to do the Donahue show. And there was a Broadway show that was on Broadway at that time. It was called Oba Oba. And it was a Brazilian dance team that was on Broadway at that time or off Broadway. But they were huge, Oba Oba. and they had Adolfo Quinones on the show. Rest in peace. Everybody else knew him as Shabba-Doo, the guy from the movie Breakin', Ozone. And we did Donahue together, and I met him. And I followed him around like a puppy. And he took me under his wing. And he said, I got something for you. And he made a call to a director that he had worked with. He choreographed a show called Stand Up Tragedy, which was coming to Broadway. I'm 21 years old now.
A baby still.
A baby.
Oh, yeah.
45th Street and Broadway. I had to go audition.
Right up the block.
I had $10 in my pocket. I had on shorts. I went into the store and bought a pair of pants that was $9.99. It was $10.81 with tax. All I had was $10. I told the guy, I have an audition right here at the Criterion Center. I need to wear these pants. They have to be baggy. I need these. He gave it to me. I read the sides for the character. His name was Carlos Cruz, a Dominican kid on the Lower East Side. I auditioned. I booked the role of Carlos Cruz in Stand Up Tragedy when I was 21. I was on Broadway at 21 years old as an actor and a dancer because of Shabba-Doo Quinones. That's where it all started, with dreaming, with believing, with following my dreams. And Michael Jackson was in my head the entire time. Beat It was out. Smooth Criminal was out. The Way You Make Me Feel, which is my favorite video in the entire world. Second favorite video is All Night Long, Lionel Richie, right? So I kept that in the forefront of my head, my dreams. And I said, I'm just going to follow them. I'm not going to chase them, because if I try to chase them, if I'm chasing something, that means it's trying to get away from me.
That's true.
I'm going to follow my dreams.
Let it lead.
Right? Let the dreams lead. And I just take action. And I found myself at 21 years old, a guy from the Bronx who didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, was on Broadway?
That's unheard of.
How did that happen? And what I realized was, and my grandmother taught me this, pray, keep God first, read your Bible, and believe, have faith. And that's what it's been for me. And that's why we say gracias a Dios every day. And I learned along the way, follow the keys to success. Become a detective for success, because success leaves clues. You just got to know where to put your magnifying glass. Where are you looking?
I don't even want to participate. I just want to listen to you speak. I love everything that you're saying. It's crazy because we want things, and like you said, we chase things, and then we're like, it's not happening, and then we give up on things. But it's just we're approaching things all the wrong way.
You asked me a few minutes ago, how did I start choreography? It's really a very interesting story. I actually started choreographing because I was frustrated.
With?
I used to work for Salt and Pepper. And I did a video with them called Shoop as a dancer.
Oh, hold up. No.
I was in Shoop.
Everybody was fine in Shoop. I'm trying to remember which one you were.
I was in Shoop. If you look at Shoop, I'm the guy in the part of the song that goes, "Hey yo, Sandy, I want to taste you."
Oh.
Right, to Pepper. And then we did What a Man Too. But another choreographer actually choreographed that. And I wanted to work with Salt and Pepper because they were legends. But the guy who was choreographing it, he was different from my style. But I learned the choreography, but I didn't like the way it felt on my body. And so I always say it was positive frustration that led me to say, I got to do my own thing. And so I started choreographing. I was like, I wanted to feel good to me. And so although I had done those things, I wanted to feel what I was feeling. And then when I did that, that's when New Kids on the Block came along. I choreographed for New Kids on the Block. Lisa came along, and I choreographed Let the Beat Hit 'Em for Lisa. Huge smash hit for Lisa. But that came by way of, and I have to shout this man out, his name is Darrin Ramos, who I went to school with.
You know what keeps coming up and keeps coming up and keeps coming up? Latinos.
Yeah, absolutely. Darrin Ramos was a friend of mine. He's a Boricua. He's a friend of mine, and he was in a group at that time called Trilogy. And I became a part of Trilogy, which was signed to CNC Music Factory. Shout out, rest in peace, David Cole. Shout out to Robert Clavilles. And because I was a part of Trilogy and down with CNC Music Factory, and CNC Music Factory at that time were like the biggest producers, they were producing for CNC Music Factory. So Robert Clavilles and David Cole got me to choreograph for CNC. I choreographed Things That Make You Go Home. They produced Lisa's album. That's how I choreographed Let the Beat Hit 'Em. They were doing the remix for New Kids on the Block, so I choreographed No More Games and Dirty Dog for New Kids.
Listen, Darrin said, I did not come to play.
I didn't come to play. High Five, she's playing Hard to Get. SWV's first song, Right Here, I did, and then So Into You. You know, George Michael, Killer Papa.
Nah,
Vanessa
you are not
Williams.
to be played with.
Yeah.
You are certified when it comes to choreography.
Yeah, and all of it really... Like when you think about the ladder, all of it was to get to the top step for me at that time, which was Michael Jackson. So everybody else, although I love working with everybody, Deborah Cox, Donna Summer, George Michael, Spice Girls, everybody.
These are icons.
Was to get to Michael Jackson. And then in 1995, I'm working with Montel Jordan. Mm-hmm. This Is How We Do It. The biggest song in the country. And we were doing a movie with Eddie Murphy called The Nutty Professor.
I still laugh at that movie.
Right?
It's hilarious.
Dave Chappelle was in that movie. So I was one of the dancers for Montel Jordan when you look at Nutty Professor. So we're in Los Angeles. We're on the grounds of Universal Studios. And I've always been a loner. So during lunchtime, I went walking. They were like, where you going? I said, I'm going to go walk. Everybody else stayed in the studio and ate. You know, you have bonchinche sessions going on, right? I went walking. So I'm walking, I'm looking. I'm like, man, I'm in LA, Universal Studios. This is crazy. And I walk onto this set. It was beautiful. It was big, white, massive set. This guy comes out. He goes, can I help you? And I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't, my fault, my bad. And he's like, no, it's okay. But what are you doing here? I said, oh, I'm a few studios down working with Eddie Murphy.
Of course, you have to flex.
I didn't even say Montel Jordan. I said Eddie Murphy.
Absolutely.
Right? But I said, oh, we're doing a movie, Nutty Professor. They were like, oh, okay, that's cool. I said, what are you doing? He said, well, we're not really supposed to talk about it, but clearly you're on the set. But you can't tell anybody. And I said, okay, but what is this? And they said, Scream. I said, what's that? And they said, oh, it's Michael Jackson's new song with Janet Jackson. I walked onto the set of Scream.
The Spirit.
Can you believe that? Guided me the whole time. Now, here's how it translates to my life. I stayed there that whole hour talking to him.
Did you just not want to leave?
No, I stayed there. The gentleman's name was Travis Payne, who's everybody knows now that was Michael's choreographer. So he told me.
Odds, nah, Darrin.
I promise you, it happened just like that. My hand to you.
And the fact that the set was all white. Like
exactly.
Enter the light.
Clean, right?
You arrived at heaven if you let me tell you. That's your end all.
I promise you. That's how it happened. I go back to set, we finish, and then, we went back on tour, and some stuff was happening while I was on tour, and just stuff, and it became uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. And Travis told me there were auditions coming up for who? Michael Jackson, right?
Casi nadie.
Exactly.
Nobody.
So September rolls around, I'm having problems with Montel's camp, I leave. I go to audition. I booked the audition to work with Michael Jackson to go to Hungary in Budapest to film the history video. The video, you see him marching, right, with all the soldiers. Mm. So I said, and I made it. I got booked as the dancer. So I told Montel's camp, they were like, who are you going to leave? Montel's the biggest artist in the world right now. Little did they know I booked with Michael Jackson. I fly out to Hungary. We shoot the video. It's called History. Everybody can see it. You see me in the video. I'm out in Hungary. Michael Jackson calls for me. after maybe 2 weeks of us being there. I'm like, what? His makeup artist, Karen Faye, comes to me. She said, Michael wants to meet you. He heard about you because I was always popping in my uniform, focused. And I was like, me?
Joel?
So I go to meet him. He walks out the Winnebago. My mouth drops. I can't talk.
It's like,
I can't talk. And he's like, hi, how are you? I was like, I couldn't talk. He's like, I heard you a real good popper. And I was like, he's like, I'd love to see you dance. You don't have to if you don't want to. I said, no, I want to. So I started popping for him. In the video, when you see him walking, he stops and he goes, you are incredible. That was it. That was it. Nothing and nobody else in the world mattered to me. Michael Jackson said I was incredible. You couldn't tell me nothing.
For the rest of your life.
That was it. It was like I was Sir Darrin Henson by Michael Jackson.
You were knighted.
Yeah, I was knighted. Right? So we come back and then we have to do the MTV Music Awards. We're doing Dangerous. That's where he has the black hat, the red gloves. Mm-hmm. So I'm coming down from the rafters on a rope all the way down, hit the stage, and I come, and you see Montel's wife go, that's Darrin. I'm dancing in front of, and I'm like, yep, it's me.
You was
right?
popping extra
It
hard.
was like I was with Michael Jackson. I was with the greatest entertainer in the world.
To this day.
And so for a whole year, I'm performing. I'm traveling with Michael. I wind up choreographing for him. This one thing that we did.
Wow, damn.
And then after that, the following year, I get hired to work with Prince. Tina Landon calls me. She's like, we need dancers. I go to work for Tina Landon to work with Prince. Like, come on. Life is like incredible.
You are blessed.
And then Prince walks up to me in a rehearsal. Real slow. He just walks. And he looks at me. He goes, do you choreograph? I said, yeah. And then he walks away from me. And I'm like, huh? Classic Prince, right?
Prince, I was just going to say that.
Classic Prince. A week later, he calls me at my house. His assistant calls. He said he wants to speak to you. Remember, it was no name at the time. He said he wants to speak to you.
He was just a symbol at that point?
Get on the phone, and he's like, can you get some dancers together to go to England? And I said, yes. He said, okay. Gave the guy the phone back. Gave me all the information. Now I'm in the UK choreographing the Brit Awards for Prince. What? Then he calls me to choreograph a video called Face Down for him. Prince and Michael Jackson? All within the same, like all within a year? What? My life is incredible. But now remember, after working with Michael Jackson, after what Michael Jackson said, I felt unstoppable.
You were gassed beyond.
Then Jordan Knight comes, former member of the New Kids. Mm-hmm. Right?
He was my favorite.
And then I get a call from Puffy. Yo, Playboy, I want you to choreograph. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Word?
What?
Why and why?
I'm asking you to choreograph. I was like, nah, I'm good. I turned him down.
Why?
I didn't want to work with him. I knew what it came with. I knew the headaches, the ego that it came with. You understand?
Like you had already heard about Puff? Like
yes.
In the industry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Like I don't want somebody calling me at 9 o'clock at 3 o'clock in the morning going, yo, we got to rehearse. Like, no. You know, at that time I had my first son, right? So I was choreographing for Jordan Knight. Huge. Number 3 on TRL, Give It To You video.
Did you know Puff or someone gave him your phone number? Like how did he end up calling you?
He's very resourceful. So it was
that's true.
Yeah, it was like, he wanted the hottest choreographer that was out at that time. But I was working with Jordan. Like, I to be honest, to be honest, I had all the top artists.
So you were sought after. Like that's the man right now.
And then we was nominated for my first MTV award for Give It To You. And then after that.
So we all knew who you were.
Yeah. After no, not yet. So here, this is the lineage. Working with Prince. At that time, did the Brit Awards. I meet the Spice Girls down there, right? I meet the Spice Girls. Like, of course, I'm in the UK, the Brit Awards. We exchanged numbers, blah 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 blah, with the manager. Then I get a call from the Spice Girls. The man called me the following year and was like, the girls want you to choreograph them. I hung up the phone because I thought they was playing. Then they called me back. They were like, the Spice Girls want you to choreograph for them. Then I get a call from Marky Mark at that time. So we're in Germany. I see this group on the TV and I'm like, yo, these white boys are dope. Here we go. Right? It's NSYNC. Here we go. One more. I can't sing. I could dance, but I can't sing.
I don't expect you to be able to do it all.
So it's NSYNC. But then I come back, I get Britney Spears. So I choreograph.
Your run is something insane.
I choreograph Sometimes video. Then I choreograph You Drive Me Crazy.
That video is sick.
And then the manager had NSYNC. He was like, I want you to do their Disney special. That was the first time they seen him in America. The Disney special blew up.
Oh, that was a bag, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. And then the tour comes. And then in 2000, they get released from Lou Pearlman. And Bye 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 comes. Now at 2000, I turned into an actor. So I'm on the Soul Food series.
So what do you mean? You just didn't want to be a choreographer anymore?
I lost the MTV Music Award.
But you were nominated.
I lost.
Oh, stop, Darrin.
To Vida Loca, Ricky Martin. If I was going to lose to anybody, lose to Ricky Martin. But I was frustrated. I was angry.
Because of the VMA?
I had worked with Prince. I had worked with Michael Jackson. Everybody. I was like, I'm done.
Oh, my. So you kind of like were being spiteful to yourself?
Yes. So watch this. I'm going to show you how God works. But I always wanted an MTV Music Award because
you felt like you deserved it.
A street dancer named Anthony Thomas run for Rhythm Nation. He was a street dancer. I was a street dancer. I wanted it. But in 1999, I gave up. I was like, I'm done.
So the industry itself made you want to no longer be a choreographer?
I worked with Michael Jackson and Prince and everybody else. I was done.
Wasn't that validation enough? You ain't need no VMA.
No, I needed it. I needed it. So watch this. So now I audition for Soul Food. I get Soul Food. Showtime's biggest television series. Yeah. Iconic. Johnny Wright calls me and says, the guys want you to choreograph for them. I said, Johnny, I don't do choreography anymore. I'm an actor now.
Darrin,
like my ego is on my shoulder. The devil that was on the left side, right, was talking to me. Nope, you don't do that. You did it already. You work with Michael. You work with Prince. You did everybody. You did the Spice Girls. You don't need that anymore. No. So Johnny said, no, you did their special. These guys, like, they want you. And I was like, Johnny, I'm not doing it. He's like, let me send you the song. Johnny sends me Bye Bye Bye. I was like, yo, this is hot.
You felt it immediately.
I was like,
your body started popping?
My body was like moving. I was like, he was like, look, just come. They're doing the Radio Music Awards. They want you to come. They're going to introduce it. Do it for them. I was like, Johnny, please, Darrin, the guys want. I go and choreograph Bye Bye Bye.
I feel like the whole world knows that dance.
They went crazy. And then Bye 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 comes out as a song. Then we do the music video. And then they're nominated for an MTV Music Award.
Okay.
And I get the MTV Music Award nomination.
We're one step closer.
And then I win. It wins Video of the Year Award. It wins Best Song, I think. And Best Choreographer goes to Darrin Henson.
Drops mic.
God knew what he was doing. As long as I got out the way and I was listening to what was being presented to me, can you imagine if I would have passed on that? Those dance steps could have been completely different dance steps and the whole world wouldn't be doing it now. Look, even Deadpool just did it last year and resurged Bye Bye Bye.
You know, we're recording right next to KTU and there's a huge song for them still. And it's just iconic. That dance we can do it right now. We're four people in the room right now. We really put ourselves to it. I feel like I want to do it.
World renowned, ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye. It's so amazing
You are
because
certified.
Michael Jackson.
No, Darrin. You don't even have to go back.
But think about it. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. Everybody in the world does that. Dorilla. Everybody in the world does that. Bye, bye, bye. Everybody in the world does it. I'm like, oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for putting me in the place. Thank you for seeing me as worthy enough to do this. Thank you for allowing me to dream big enough. And thank you for teaching me to be humble enough that I could accept that gift, which was the group in the song, so I could do the work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Stop. I feel so motivated right now. I'm like, you're pouring so much into me right now, just me hearing you tell your story. Because one thing is me getting, your bio and just me, reading about it. But hearing it from you and seeing, the passion that you feel behind this story just, fills my cup.
Honey, it's like what you do. We listen to you, we watch you, and we're inspired by you as well. Because think about it. You decided to do something greater than you originally had or was presented with. You had to become a dreamer, and then you had to be a doer, and then you become. I tell people, be, and it comes. When we say gracias, come again, it's like serving people, serving them something they may not even know that they need. It's like, thank you, come again, because guess what? You get to eat here. You get to breathe here. You get to live here. You get to rest here, because we're going to give you something that is like vitamins. It's like minerals for the body, the mind, and the spirit. Gracias, come again. We're going to have more for you.
No, definitely. And you're kind of like a therapy session. And a lot of the guests tell me all the time, like, wow, it didn't even feel like an interview. It just felt like a conversation.
Absolutely.
And, we get to be vulnerable. And before I decided on Gracias, Come Again, I wanted it to be a safe space. But, the company told me there is a lot of podcasts called The Safe Space. But it is what I wanted to create. I wanted to create something where I can sit down with people and they don't feel like I'm going to be attacked. She's going to bring up negativity. She's going to try to dig up dirt on me. Like, no, I want this to be a place where you can be seen. Your story can be heard. And I can tell you how respected you are, how admired you are, how important you are to the culture, to our people. It's what I want. I just want to make the person sitting across from me feel good.
And I do. And it's beautiful. So thank you.
That's a lot. Now, after you win your VMA, how do we move forward?
So this is the interesting thing. Jennifer Lopez was a really good friend of mine at that time.
How does one become friends with Jennifer Lopez?
Well, remember, she was a dancer before she was an actress.
Okay,
so Jennifer, I used to hire her all the time as a dancer. If you look at Things That Make You Go Home, Jennifer's in that. Mm-hmm. If you look at the New Kids on the Block on the American Music Awards when we did No More Game, I put Jennifer directly in the center. If you look at Kool Moe Dee's God Made Me Funky, Jennifer's one of the lead dancers. If you look at Richard Rodgers' Can't Stop Loving You, she was my love interest as a dancer in the video. So
That's the Way Love Goes? Was that you that put her in there?
No. She was already gone by that time. Okay. Right? So what happened was in 2001, Love Don't Cost a Thing comes out. It's her departure now, right? She calls me. I'm doing soul food. So here we go again. She's like, Darrin, I need you. I won the MTV Music Award already. And I was like, Jen, I'm not dancing no more. I'm not choreographing no more. She was like, man, don't play with me. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, I need you. You're going to choreo. Oh, like, let me tell you. She didn't take no for an answer. She's like, if you don't do it, I'm going to do it myself. I was like, I can't let you do that. So She convinced me to do Love Don't Cost a Thing. So I fly out to Sweden. And I actually choreographed it in Sweden because she was doing the Sweden MTV Music Awards. And so I choreographed it for there. The video didn't come out yet. And then we do the music video. So you can see in the making of the video, which I love that MTV used to do, the making of the video. You can see Bye Bye Bye. You can see Love Don't Cost a Thing. So many, right? And it's so, we're so close and we had so much, fun and great times together. that we did Love Don't Cost a Thing. And in that video, it's just a dance break, right? It's just a dance break.
Is it on the beach or where?
It's on the beach, right?
I'm trying to remember it.
It's like she looks at the postcard and then right, we do the
transports.
dance. Yeah. And it became one of the biggest. It was just a dance break,
sick,
but it was massive.
She had the braids.
Yes.
I remember everything.
So it was like I did that. And probably after Love Don't Cost a Thing is really when I started to just kind of chill, because I really started to seek deeper into acting, right? Like I had done that. I had one. Now I'm official, right? I work with Michael, Prince. I did Spice Girls, Britney, Christina, J.Lo, NSYNC.
Nah, this resume, Darrin.
I was just like, there was nobody else. I was like, okay, now I can act. And so I really kind of just focused on acting after J.Lo.
Before we go into acting, I wanted to get into your choreographer head. Do you imagine the dances? Do you write them down? Like, how does one come to, like, My Love Don't Cost a Thing? How did you come up with that exact choreography?
The music tells me what to do. And, I tell people all this, and I love this, and it's true. If you put me in a big dance studio, I'm not going to come up with anything. Because when I was growing up, I danced in my bedroom. All the hits that I created were created in my bedroom.
How small was this?
In a small space.
Twin bed and two dressers?
I choreographed Love Don't Cost a Thing in my bedroom. And then I flew out to Sweden to teach it to her. All of the big dance steps that I did, I choreographed in very little spaces because that was where my comfort zone was.
Yeah, you feel safe, right?
Yep. So when you put me in a big studio, I couldn't feel. But if you put me in a kind of a 4x4 or 6x4 space, I was going to give you the business. And that's what happened.
Now, with all the artists that you work with, who was like the hardest to choreograph? Like who was like, I can't get it. This is just hard. I can't learn this.
Believe me or not, at that time, as two artists, and we talk about this. I have a documentary out that's called The Untold Darrin Henson Story, Darrin's Dance Grooves.
Where can one stream it if they listen to right now?
Honestly, it was out for 2 years.
Okay.
On a network called All Black. That was a division of AMC. And it left there. And right now, I'm looking for a new home because the rights got reverted back to me, so I own it.
Amazon or on
and
Netflix.
I'm thinking about putting it out on Amazon so the world can see it again.
Yeah.
So that's what we're getting ready to do. Either that or put it on YouTube.
As long as the YouTube belongs to you and you're getting all the coins.
Absolutely.
Only way.
Gotta have the coins. Gotta have the coins.
But I love Amazon. When I'm looking for something very particular, I seem to always find it on Amazon. But who are the two people you were going to tell me about?
It's
because dancing is so hard for me. I cannot dance for nothing.
It was, believe it or not, SWV, and they talk about it.
All three of them?
They talk about it in the documentary. They were like, we didn't want to dance because they're singers. And
the choreography, their choreographer was kind of light. It was cool.
But when we did Right Here, they gave me a hard time, especially Coco, who I love so much.
Coco was swag.
But that was
she was kind of like the more.
Yeah, she was like subtle, laid back. But we got the video done. It became a hit song for them and a hit video for them. And believe it or not, Christina Aguilera. Really? When we were doing Genie in a Bottle, we did a 4-hour session and got maybe 1 or 2 8 counts because my stuff was so staccato. It was, unless you knew that style, it was difficult to pick up.
And she was new, right?
She was very new. Although she was on the Mickey Mouse Club, but she had never done my style. Mm-hmm. And so at that time, I mean, she's an amazing artist and a performer now.
Listen, I can say this. Christina Aguilera has one of the best voices to have ever touched a microphone in the entire industry.
Oh my goodness, she's amazing.
Her flowers.
Yes, we give it to her. Yeah. We give it to her. But you know what's funny? There's a story that goes along with that because that was the time where it was taboo. Britney was my artist, and I got called to do Christina. So I didn't tell Britney that I was doing Christina.
Of course you couldn't. I remember when it was Britney or Christina. We had to pick one.
That's right. So I did it silently.
That's okay. Sorry, Britney. You know what I'm saying? So Christina Aguilera and who else?
And SWV.
Oh yeah. Coco was way back. She was like, I ain't trying to do this.
Well, we got it done. I
just want to flex my vocals. Like, now, who was a natural? Who was just like, yo, this person don't even need me here?
NSYNC.
The guy, all four of the guys.
NSYNC. They were amazing to work with. Amazing. Of course, Michael. Of course, Prince.
Oh, forget about it.
Which is
Listen.
just
They was teaching you.
amazing. And then here's a little bit of trivia. If
Mm-hmm.
you look at High Five, she's playing Hard to Get video. I'm actually in it because one of the band members didn't make it, so I doubled for one of the band members
Never.
and danced throughout the whole video.
I would have been like, what y'all doing? Y'all did the
Yep.
video without me.
Yep, so much fun to do. She's playing Hard to Get. Rest in peace, Tony Thompson.
Did you love choreography? Was that your love? Like, that was your love, and then you were like,
Music
gotta
and
break
dance is all energy. It's all spirit. It's all emotion. So yeah, I love it. I mean, I still dance now. I don't really choreograph for anybody anymore, but whenever I hear something hot, trust me, I'm moving. And then I heard it's very interesting.
But do you dance salsa? But do you dance merengue?
Salsa,
But do
merengue,
you dance
bachata, todo.
I'm gonna test you after we done. Don't be telling
Todo.
you dance these things that you really don't. Nah, you definitely could have been at the Copa.
I used to be.
Really?
I used to dance at the
You was
Copa.
that guy that all the other
Absolutely.
guys was like, if this one don't get off the dance
I was the
floor-
dude that had two women dancing at the same
Oh, pero
time.
ven acá, you was hated.
Uh-huh. También.
I'm so happy, that we're here today and we're talking about music, and I know all the videos and I know all the artists, and it's just like putting two and two together just feels like, wow. I'll never be able to watch any of these videos or listen to any of these songs and not say, I know who choreographed this. Oh my God. And there's Tara. Now I'm going to see you everywhere. Like, I am going home tonight to look up everything that we talked about. And you're probably still going to look the same.
I always make cameos in my videos.
Of course, because you was, a fine piece of chocolate. You had to be in front of the camera, right? They were like, hey, who's that?
Say,
Put him in here.
Chocolate come coco.
I'm surprised that modeling, was that ever part of your
Yeah,
life? Because,
when I was a teenager, I did. Yeah.
I know, because I when I was looking at your pictures, I was like, well, these look like modeling shots. I was like, oh, he's into himself. Oh,
Yeah. I don't know about that.
you know what he bringing to the table.
when I was younger and I was a teenager, that's where I started in commercials and, modeling.
How many lives have you lived, Darrin?
I promise you, I'm thankful because when I look back at it, I was like, what's the common denominator? What's the thread? And I was like, love what you do and do what you love and live with passion. Then you never really work a day in your life. And do what's in your heart. Don't try to follow what everybody else is doing because most people are following other people who are following other people. You have to sit still. You have to close your eyes and you have to take a deep breath.
Okay, let's do it. Come on.
And you just breathe. And you relax. And you know that all is well. And you have gratitude because you rose up today. And you just say thank you. We say thank you.
Thank you.
And when you say thank you, you realize that you have everything that you need. You are more than enough. And then you breathe again and you say, what is it that I want to express to the world? How do I want to show up? And then you take another breath. And you realize that feels really good. And then you relax. And the more you relax, the more you let go. And because you let go, then you can start getting back to yourself. And when you get back to yourself, and you go, what do I truly want? What do I have to say? What do I want to express and share with the world? And you take another breath. You release. And then you grab a pen or a pencil and you write it down.
I should have had a pen and pencil to write it down right now.
And when you see what comes out, trust it.
Oh, I'm listening back to this episode and I'm going to do this exercise.
Yeah.
Because it is true, a lot of the times we know what we want, but we tend to hide it and internalize it. She's like, no, I'm just going to go to work. No, I'm just going to, feed the kids. No, I'm just going to clean the house. And we push, our dreams and what our true calling is. We put it on the back burner, on simmer, and we're like, I'll get to it one day.
We're scared of no. We're scared of judgment. We're fearful. And because of that, you never get to experience the things that you truly desire. So if you learn to get used to people saying no and realize that when someone says no, you're closer to your yes. Think about it. If you have something that's there waiting for you, whatever you're looking for is looking for you. And as long as you don't stop, you get to hold it. So if you want something and you get 50 no's, then know that you're closer to your yes. Because when you get by the no's, the yes is right there. You don't know if it's going to be the 74th no. You don't know if it's going to be the 90th no. You don't know if it's going to be the 51st no where the yes sits. But if you give up on Monday, there is no Tuesday. So you got to keep going so you can keep growing, and then you start glowing.
We're going to look at no's as redirection.
Yes. Yes. Right? No? Okay, let me go that way. No? Okay, let me go that way. No? Okay, let me go that way. And then your yes starts smiling at you.
You're like,
yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. Just don't give up because it's there. It's there. It has to be because it's a part of cause and effect. That's universal law. Every cause has an effect. And as long as you are set in motion and you put emotion behind action, the result is going to show up.
Oh, I'm never letting you out of my life. This has to be a part of my everyday. Your spouse or your partner is blessed. Because if you can wake up and have this kind of conversation over coffee, my day is done. I don't have to do anything else. If we had this conversation for breakfast, I would feel so motivated and so ready to take on the world. It's so important, to surround yourself, with people like you. I feel like people no longer do this type of talk. People are so closed off and not in tune with their emotion, and they're not willing to tap in. That the way that you're tapped in with who you are as a person spiritually is surprising.
I know who I am and whose I am. And I don't change that for anybody. And thank you for that. I appreciate that comment. I appreciate those words from you. But like I said, I learned a long time ago, don't ask for validation from people because most people are pretending. And so when you're looking at other people for validation, why are you looking at them? Go to the creator, not the created. Go to the creator.
And when you say the creator, are we talking God?
Yes, of course.
I don't know who you're
the Most High, yeah. So I don't make jokes when I say gracias a Dios. Like, that's not just a saying. It's like when we get out of bed, the first thing I say is thank you. Because it's like when you realize you woke up and you're like, I'm alive.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. And so I really mean that. You don't need to seek validation from other people. Those people that we're looking for approval, they're looking for approval from somebody else.
And sometimes they're not even willing to give it to us because a lot of people, if they're not happy with who they are or where they are, they're not going to acknowledge your gifts.
Nope.
They're going to be mad that they don't have your gifts.
Yep. Some people hate on you because you figured it out. Some people hate on you because you move faster than them. Some people hate on you because your light is shining. That's why they say you can't share with everybody when you're in the making. Look, when you put a seed in the ground, you don't eat an apple tomorrow.
Never.
It has to be in darkness first. When a woman becomes pregnant, she's pregnant in triple darkness first before the baby comes to the light, right? Mm-hmm. So everything happens in the darkness. So that means stay quiet first. Stay quiet. Just be quiet. And when it's time to birth the baby, the world will see.
Here it is. Meet my baby.
That's right.
But
be quiet at first.
Don't put the pea stick.
Don't show the whole world the results.
Wait till the baby born.
Yeah. Don't be, it's like they say, don't let everybody touch your stomach when you're pregnant, right? Like, ten cuidado, right? Because
that bad juju.
You don't know the energy that people are putting on you.
Yeah, so energy is very
That's
transferable.
real.
I love your energy. You today have been, and we're getting up to I think interview 50 something, and the way that your energy is transferring towards me is incredible. Like, I feel like you're true, you're genuine, you're anointed. I don't know if you're already, exercising in that, but you're meant to lead spiritually. Sooner or later, you'll get there if you're not there yet, but the way you deliver and the way that, you can express yourself, I'm impressed.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And, on screen, you're amazing too. We haven't talked much about acting and you on screen. Not only does he look good, but the acting is on point. Can we talk about the family business? I love you on that show.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that supports the show. We love you. We are thankful to you and for you because the family business has been #1 for 4 weeks in a row. We are in the 6th season. We just premiered the 9th episode. And it's amazing how the show has just taken off. Carl Weber's The Family Business is probably, wow. You know, I was on Soul Food and I thought that was a hit show. Like, The Family Business has just taken it to the next level.
Orlando Duncan.
Yes. Orlando.
I love your character, you know. It's just, you're always in the cut. You're serious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's passionate. You know, the great thing about Orlando, he's really smart. Of course, the family has 2 different businesses. You know, they live that you know, the double life. But you know, the thing about Orlando is very interesting because he's a scientist. You know, he created a product, and y'all know what I'm talking about when I say product, called Heat.
He got in the kitchen.
You know what I'm saying? He cooks in the kitchen. And but he's a scientist, so he's not just your average dude, right? Like, this dude is smart. Yeah, Orlando's smart, and he's passionate. And you know, right now he's fighting for the life of his son, who he is looking for the donor, bone marrow donor, played by Malik Yoba, who's the uncle of his son by way of, you know, the girlfriend, Ruby. So there's a lot going on with the family. You know, Junior Duncan has gone rogue, and a lot of people are getting knocked off on the show. And
Frankie
so there's
G, my guy, he
Frankie G, amazing actor, man. That's my man.
That's
That's my man, bro. Juan is so dope, and you know, unfortunately, his character got knocked off.
It happens. It's part of the show.
But yeah, it's part of the lifestyle, right?
Oh, that too.
You know,
let's not forget what who his character
the lifestyle,
was.
right? Exactly. And you know, my dad, played by Ernie Hudson, Elsie Duncan, he's hurt.
The legend.
Icon, legend. And I love him so much.
How much do you learn by just being in his space?
Let me tell you something. The first day we started working together, I was like, I got to tell you something, man.
You went right
I was like, yo, when you played Lolly, and he looked at me, he just started laughing, right? Because, you know, that movie with Wesley Snipes, you know, Sugar Hill was one of my favorite films,
It's
man.
one of my favorite films to date.
Oh, my God. And we just started talking, and we bonded immediately. Like, he's like my dad in real life, man. I call him.
I love that.
Oh, I call him all the time, and we just talk. And
it's crazy how you can have a father figure or a mother figure or a grandparent figure as an adult. You know, a lot of the times we lose a parent and we feel like that's it. And you were able to find a parental figure in him.
Yeah, he's very much like my dad to me. You know, we talk all the time, and he gives me advice, and we talk, and you know, he's a very funny man. And then, of course, we have Valerie Pettiford on the show, who plays my mom. You know, and also people bring this up. And
you got the dope parents.
I forget about this all the time, but Valerie was also in Stomp the Yard. She played the aunt to DJ's character in Stomp the Yard. So it was like we were in Stomp the Yard together. So it was great. She's just amazing.
How old were you when you did Stomp the Yard?
I was 39.
Really? You look like a kid.
I was 39.
No, you're lying to me.
I promise you. Crazy, right?
That is insane.
Crazy.
How you were able to play, a young adult.
Crazy. Everybody thought, I mean, those that know, but, I passed for a college kid in that film. It was great.
Grant.
That's right.
Your character.
That's right. Hey, Grant.
How did people treat you? Like
they hated me.
They were like, I hate you.
They were like, I hate you in that film. And I was like, what's all right.
Out in public, they're like, Grant, I hate your ass.
So that's an interesting perspective. I'm gonna tell you, I went through something mentally because of that.
Because of the
So that movie came out in 2007, became a massive hit.
It was.
So think about it. I played an antagonist in that film.
You were a pain in the ass. We hated you.
And everybody told me for years. And that does something to the human psyche.
Of course it does. I'm
when
sorry, I just said
people come
that.
up to you and they go, I hated you in that film. What happens is you hear, your subconscious hears, I hated you, I hated you, I hated you. Over the years, it becomes compound interest on your mind. And you start to develop this thing until you realize they're talking about the character. They're not talking about you, Darrin. They're talking about the character. The interesting thing about that film is the director asked me to play the character that way.
It was guidance. It was, you were told what
They
to do.
asked me for whatever was going on with the character that I was playing opposite of. Mm-hmm. He said, look, I need you to do this for me. And I thought, I'm working with the director and they're asking me for a favor, so I'm going to play him dogmatic. I'm going to play him with a huge ego.
You went in.
I went in. And it kind of backfired, because whenever you play a character, you should play him with empathy, meaning nobody should have a clear choice. We should make the audience fight for who they want, right? It shouldn't be clear that he's an asshole and I'll go with him.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. And so, I don't know if I can say that on your show.
No, you can. You can. You can.
Right. So, but it was clear, that his ego was so massively big. And it took me a while. It took me a few years to kind of snap out of it, because
like
everywhere I went, I heard that same thing. But it comes in, it interchanges. Now everybody's like, oh my God, I love Orlando, right? So it was first, I love Lem on Soul Food. Mm-hmm. Then it was like, I hate you and Stomp the Yard. And now it's like, I love you, Orlando. So, it comes with the territory.
The public is like that. We sometimes tend to gravitate. Like when Luis Guzman came, we were talking about Pachanga, how he's Pachanga to everybody.
Everybody.
And he's done, the Count of Monte Cristo. He's done, Wednesday.
But he's Pachanga to everybody.
And he told me, he was like, people be like, why you did that to Carlito?
Like it's real. Like they come up to you like it's real. Like people come up to me, they were like, yo, how could you treat Megan good like that? I'm like, are you joking right now? Like that was a movie. Let it go, It's so funny, but people really, they just hold on to stuff.
But it goes to show you the way we connect to film.
Yeah, now. So I'm very careful now with roles.
You move with intention?
Because I don't want... Oh, definitely. But, I'm glad I don't do comedies, because I don't want the Gilligan curse.
What does that mean?
The Gilligan curse. The actor from Gilligan's Island couldn't do anything else.
Okay.
Right? It's like Steve Urkel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Like he's forever. Always Urkel, right? Like it's called the Gilligan's curse. And so...
Well, aren't we glad that didn't happen to Will Smith?
Yeah. Could have.
Yeah,
it could have. But I think that's one of the reasons why he took such dramatic films to shake that. But me as a dramatic actor, mm-hmm. none of that will stick, that way. But I think we live in a society, because we are so much heavily into what we watch.
It's who we are.
That we start to, they say art imitates life, but life also imitates art. And so what happens is we get drawn in and we start to believe it, because we watch it so intensely. Mm-hmm. So you become the character to them. When they see you on the street, you're not an actor. Back in the days, they used to go, you're an amazing actor. Now you are the character. Does that make sense?
No, it definitely makes sense, because I was driving and I looked to the side. I'm like, oh my God, it's Mr. Big from Sex and the City. I didn't even see him. And he was coming out of one of the theaters. He's doing Broadway. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh shit, it's Mr. Big. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, that happens. And so, it's just a part of where we are in life now. There's so much mechanics and mechanical and technology that I think we stop thinking. When I ask people, do you know this phone number? And they're like, nah, I got to go on my phone, because they're not using that part of the brain anymore.
I know like 5 phone numbers, I think.
You see? But only 5. Back in the day,
you knew everybody's.
You knew 20 numbers, or however many you needed to memorize. Now, it's only 5, right? And so, I'll be honest with you. This is very, very, very sad and very, very true. The only telephone number I know is my own. That is it.
Really? I know 5.
1.
Darrin, get it together. Come on.
Can you believe that?
Get it together. You got my number. I'm gonna have you memorize.
Can
my
you
number.
Believe that?
So if you ever get stuck anywhere, you can be like, honey.
I'll be like, honey, come
I need
get
you to
me.
pick me up, yo, bro. Come. I'm not gonna say bail me out, because I don't want you to get in trouble.
Nah, we don't want to use the word bail. We don't want to go there.
Now, family business. For anyone listening, they want to stream, they want to watch. What are we doing?
Family business. the first
Let's say
four seasons was on Netflix.
Okay.
But since we started the sixth season, they took it off of Netflix. So if you want to watch Family
So
Business
we can
now,
focus on the new season. Got you. Makes sense.
BET Plus.
Yes. That's a good app to have.
Where next week we are on the 10th and last episode. And then it will probably play on regular BET in March. So if you don't have BET Plus and you don't want to pay for it, then you got to wait till March to watch it on
But if we
regular
get
BET.
BET Plus, we can watch it?
Absolutely.
All right, listen.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of streaming services. If you're not using Peacock, cancel it. You're not using Hulu, cancel it. And get you BET Plus so you can watch The Family Business.
Yes.
Because it's a dope show. You know, it touches on a lot of different things. Family, you know, new generations, older generations. You know, it's like you've got like Gen Z, you got some millennials, you got some boomers. Everybody's in there.
Yep.
So it's something that you can watch with the family.
Yes. It's something for everybody on the show. And it's a family experience.
It is.
And so you've got the love, you got the passion, you got the street stuff, you got, and you know, you've got great Latino actors on the show as well. Yeah. Emilio Rivera. You also have Yadi Rivera on the show. And of course, Lusky is on the show. You know,
we're represented. Listen, Latinos, we are represented on The Family Business.
Absolutely.
It definitely makes sense, you know, to watch. Make sure you get yourself the BT Plus. And, you know, Darrin, this has been an amazing, amazing, amazing conversation. And I feel like we have to explore it a little bit more. You know, we need to do a episode more about, you know, spirituality. Even that little meditative moment that we had there felt good. And I know that my listeners, when they listen to this episode, they're going to be like, we want more Darrin. And I feel like you have a lot more stories that you can share. But for today, we're going to take what we were able to take because they were gems.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming up here today. And gracias. Come again.
Thank you so much.